Number 10, Number 12, Ali Madi. Number 13, Nasir Jafar. Number 15, Ali Ben. Number 22, Naimodin Asane. And the substitutes for Comoros: number 2, Mohammed Zamir. Number 4, Abdul Omar. Number 9, Abdallah Sadat. Number 11, Masrulaha Hilal. Number 14, Tamime Tarek. Number 16, Ahmed Fajdaw. Number 17, Afane Jambaye. Number 18, Abdele Naurua. Number 19, Ali Mzi. Number 20, Nasruddin Idari. Number 21, Ali Muhammad. Number 23, Yusuf Jawadi. And the coach for Comoros, Ahamada Jambai. And now for Mozambique, number 12, Armando Duato. Number 2, Francisco Simbini. Number 3, Shamito Alfandenga. Number 4, Diaz Fumo. Number 5, Osama Pedro. Number 7, Dairo Melo, captain. Number 10, Antonio Lorenzoni. Number 13, Pedro Valpavia. Number 15, Fernando Jose. Number 16, Julio Carrello. Number 18, Sultan Yamisi. The substitutes for Mozambique: number 1, Acacio Mwendane. Number 6, Abel Natumbo. Number 9, Gabriel Pino. Number 11, Momede Ferrari Jr. Number 14, Antonio Nakusa. Number 17, Jeremias Nambiri. Number 23, Orlando Tembe.
Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. This is the final day, match 21 of the 22, and this is Comoros up against Mozambique. I'm not alone, I've got a guest, Elrio van Heerden. Elrio, what a day, beautiful morning. It looks like typical. It's getting now dark and drizzling.
100%, Max. Hey, we were coming out, the sun was out, and now it's changing again.
Yeah, but talking about changes, there has to be a change of attitude from either side to just at least finish third in this tournament.
No, 100%. I had a look at the team sheet as the TSGs. From Comoros, they had like 5 changes. And I think in Mozambique, there's two or three changes, yeah.
Yes, 2 or 3 changes, but also the change that we were looking forward to is that of the goalkeeper of Mozambique. But Comoros is the side that is now in this change room semi-final. What do you make of those? Youssef, Haslani? I mean, these are the guys, Rado, Almadi, they have really done the job.
Yes, I mean, they've played the whole tournament. I think they gave a good account of themselves. What we are not seeing is we're not seeing Afane in the lineup. So We don't know. We thought maybe this is going to be the game where he can push and get at goals to compete for the top scorer.
Could be rested, and that's the most important thing, that you've give everyone a run. And most coaches, I'm sure you'll agree with me, that they have given almost every player a run, because that's the purpose of this tournament.
Yes, 100%. I mean, coming into this tournament, there's a lot of rotation, I think, for the coaches to have a better look at some of the players who they can use in the first team.
Talking about first team, Mozambique seem not to take nothing or leave nothing to chance. Everyone that has been a regular here, he's in the squad, the likes of Fumo, Pedro, Melo. And these are the ones that you ask yourself, yeah, the only person that could make a difference is the one that's been man of the match continuously, Lorenzo, known as Maestro.
Number 7, Dario.
Dario, but then
Mozambique.
number 10.
Yes.
And he's the one that is a difference maker in terms of passes.
Yeah, but we had a closer look at the 7, actually, the captain Dario. I think he had 2 man of the match performances, so he's a strong contender to give you that match decisive pass of goal, you know.
Yeah, decisive pass. But people who were decisive with what they were sharing with us, caught up with us earlier, that is the coaches. Coach, at stake is the 3rd place today. What is the preparation, or what are the preparations like?
Donc aujourd'hui c'est le match pour la 3e place. Comment s'est passée la préparation?
On a bien discuté, on a bien préparé ce match. On s'est bien reposé, mais on va essayer de faire un résultat aujourd'hui, malgré qu'on sait que Mozambique c'est le favori. Mais nous on a tout à gagner de jouer ce match, et tous les matchs se jouent pour gagner.
Okay. So we, after our last game, we spoke a lot with all my players, a lot of communication, and then they had a good rest as well. Today I told them that we have nothing to lose. We are here to bring a good result, and we must do everything to win today.
And looking at your opposition, Mozambique, they also want to get that 3rd spot. How desperate are you to just stop them from not getting that?
Donc le Mozambique a le même objectif, je suppose, remporter la médaille de bronze. Mais aujourd'hui, qu'est-ce que vous avez en plus à proposer pour contrer cette équipe du Mozambique?
Mais bon, quand vous rentrez sur le terrain, c'est l'équipe qui a le plus de détermination, qui veut montrer qu'il veut gagner le match. Il ne faut pas oublier que hier, ça a été notre fête nationale. On veut prouver au peuple comorien, on veut leur souhaiter une bonne fête, c'est par une victoire.
So I think it's the most motivated and most determined team who will win today. Yesterday it was our Independence Day, National Day in Comoros, big celebrations. So today we want to offer our country a beautiful gift.
Thank you very much, Coach,
Thank you
and
very much.
happy belated Independence Day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Coach, how important is it for your team to win today?
Well, so I'm proud of the boy to reach this stage. We played well all the games, although we didn't win against Namibia, but I'm so proud of the boys. Fighting spirits in the group, commitment. We are ready to put people in Mozambique very happy, because they are waiting for us. It's a long time that we've never been in 3rd position. We need to be there. The first we didn't, second no, but this position is very important for us. We bring here the young players, which they are developing their football. They represent many people in Mozambique. We are so happy with this position that we're going to fight today. It will not be easy. We respect Comoros, although some people say that Comoros, it's a name. For me, it's a name. But we respect the players. We have to respect the coach, because they are doing a great job. They are here because they win the group B. So we have to respect them. But I think, so my players, if they try to do what we train as our plan, it will be easy this game. We're going to win.
The 2024 Hollywood Best COSAFA Cup 3rd and 4th playoff has a historic Comoros run already, marking their best ever cup run, facing a Mozambique looking for their 3rd bronze medal in the tournament, all this at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium on the final day. A good day it is to you, and well, a day when it started off with the sun shining, blue skies, and looking like a warm day out in Kabeja. And over the last hour, as the teams are coming out to warm up, things have started to change. change. Wind has kicked up here incredibly over the last hour, including cloud cover that is now sitting right above this venue and looking mighty grey, and the weather may just change as we move forward between the third and fourth playoff and the final later on in the day. Won't be a surprise if it begins to rain as well, but we are looking for a good showing here between two sides, two nations that are proud to have gotten this far and certainly looking to put up a good and proper battle in their quest to pick up the bronze medals. Comoros in the green on the right to your picture, Mozambique on the left then. Having heard the coaches then, Victor Jose Martin of Mozambique, stating that this young group of Mozambican players certainly will be looking to finish with that bronze medal. They'll look to take the game to Comoros while showing them respect as for Ahamada Jembe. Never before has a side from Comoros reached this part of the tournament, so even in their fight for third and fourth, even if they do finish fourth, this a historic run for them, and they'll look to finish as high as they can, and already as a generation that stands out amongst the rest in how far they've gotten in this tournament. Both entertained, they've both had to show character after some difficult results here and there, and both will be looking to end the adventure here in Kabeja in the best way possible. That, along with the referee team, keeping in mind VAR, of course, has been a factor since the semi-finals. So they make their way out of the tunnels here to Comoros and Mozambique, hoping to leave the very best informed for last changes in the starting 11s on either side here, which we'll discuss in a moment. But as they get onto the pitch, there's a few players here that will look to make a serious impression, having had a little to no game time up to this point in the tournament. Whilst, of course, at the end of the day, as a team, they will be looking for success as we move on to the national anthems.
Please stand for the national anthem of Comoros. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Mozambique.
Pedra, pedra, construindo um dia, melhor dos lados. gloriosa. Pedra a pedra construindo um novo dia. Milhões de Brasil, uma
Vamos, caralho! Bora!
The only meeting between these nations was back in 2018 in Polokwane when Mozambique walked away 3-0 winners. Luis bagging a couple of goals as well as Jay Torso on a day when Mozambique was, of course, victorious over Comoros. So Comoros here with this starting 11 will be looking to get one over the Mozambicans. 5 changes here with Bakri and Almadi coming into the defensive areas. Halsani slots back into the midfield area, not having started the semi-final. In fact, he wasn't in the squad list at all. The man wearing the number 6 jersey, he and Raidu will look to, well, bring some creativity into the middle of the park. Afani not in, and it's Nasser that will play out in the sharpest point, the furthest forward, wearing the number 13 jersey. They will have the likes of Kasim and Georgia, of course, looking to bring their creativity into this game, whilst the combination of Karim and Abdullah has been impressive defensively. Abang Letom, the man in charge of this fixture, he is assisted by Justin Dos Santos as well as Soru Paswani. And the 4th official is Bushra Kabuvi. VAR factor here, and we will have Maria Rivets in VAR, assisted by Fatiha Chemoumi. So far, the officiating has been absolutely top-notch from the group stages, moving on to the semi-finals when VAR became a factor as well. And, well, it'll go on through right till the end. The VAR, the video assistant referees there, game captained by the 2 number 7s. Both of them have, in fact, found the back of the net so far in this tournament. Georgia, the man on your left, wearing the green, the only in the starting 11 to have found the back of the net for Comoros. Mozambique will come in with changes in the middle of the park. Fernandinho wearing the number 15 jersey will slot in just in front of the back four. Jose is another that comes into the midfield areas. Gianluca starts here in the final alongside Chamito in the front two. Watch out once again for Dario from a creative standpoint. He's out wide on that right side. He'll be looking for a good showing. The back four does not change. They have been impressive. The likes of Diaz and Osama with, of course, Victor Martin in your picture, who's been extremely kind to the teams he's faced and the officials he's coming up against so far in this tournament. Amada Jambe, the man in charge of Comoros, still looking for a bronze medal, which will be a first ever for Comoros. Mozambique have been there, done it before in the past, with Comoros the first to get a touch in this game, attacking the goal to the left of your picture. It is as the conditions change drastically. The sun completely disappears here from the field, and we are completely covered now by a great crowd as the first foul of the day comes in out on that far side. And will it come with a first caution? Among the Tom. Well, let's just give a talking to here early. Kasim, the man who is fouled, he had a great semi-final for Comoros, although it ended on a losing run. Many will argue he was their best player on the day, winning them the penalty. They had made things interesting in the end, and as they look to change the scoreline and get back to a chance to leveling matters. Certainly worth keeping an eye on. The men out wide on that far side, that being Kasim, Georgia, wearing the 7 on this near. They do in your picture, operating in the middle of the park. Plays for Fomboni FC. It's Southton with the throw-in. What has been interesting so far in this year's COSAFA Cup is, well, the commitment between the sides here and how physical things can get in the battles throughout the different departments in the matches. Both these sides have proven to have a presence physically here. Will be no slouches in that department should it come down to that. Comoros, if you are just joining this tournament for the very first time, have by far been the surprise packages of this tournament. Here they are with Georgia in the middle of the park, looking for Kasim out to that far side. Vision was good, the execution not quite what the captain would have hoped for. Interesting to hear the Mozambique coach, Victor Martin, point out that it's been a long time since they picked up the bronze medal in the COSAFA Cup. They won it back in 1997 as well as 2009 did Mozambique, so it has been quite a while. Now having some defending to do. But numbers towards that far post, the angle of the cross, however, not giving any of the three men out to that far side a chance. One of those pushed forward was Chamito. Black Wolves man amongst the scorers for Comoros in this tournament.
Ponera.
Here's Bakri. Plays for Jabal FC, operating out wide on this left side of the Comoros defense. Amongst the changes, he and Ali Mahdi will be looking to have a good showing in the defensive areas. That's just his third appearance of the tournament. He's only amassed 85 minutes as the left back, so amongst those that will be looking for a good showing here and looking to make the most of the appearance here, keeping in mind many of the players that are showing this tournament are looking to make an impression with the World Cup qualifiers and AFCON qualifiers that lie in the very near future. Nice little flick on. Tario looking to complete the attempt at a 1-2. Done well to compete here and keep it alive on this near side. In the end, a good legal challenge from Bakri concedes the throw-in. Now, in the box here, hoping for a near post flick on, didn't quite happen. Georgia now hoping to kickstart the counter attack here for the Comoros. Would have been big news that Afani is not amongst the starters. I have to say though, in the semi-final, he did find it going tough in having an effect for Comoros going forward. Maybe the quietest he's been so far in this tournament was in the semi-final, which could have opened the door for Nasser to come into the starting lineup here. Good defending and protecting the ball for the goal kick. Kasim battling here with Diaz, the Desportiva de Maputo man, showing good strength to ensure that Kasim didn't get things his own way. Well, just to show how they've looked to rotate players throughout this tournament for Victor Martin, the coach here. He's ahead Armando, coming for what will be his third game of the tournament. He's only conceded the one goal, coming in the latter stages of the group and in the semi-final. Wasn't the goalkeeper to start the tournament here for the Mozambicans. Did well to get back up onto his feet then Gianluca, wearing the number 10 jersey. Nice little touch then, but couldn't find the teammates. It's congested out on that far side, competing well is Gianluca. Armando. Man down on the far sides. Far from happy is Diaz then. Played the ball back to Armando, and there could have been a late challenge to have brought him down. Far side official was right next to the action, then called for the foul. Reason why there is a serious talking to here for Nasser, showing good sportsmanship. And what seems a sincere apology to the opponent. Chamito beaten to it in the air. Foul committed by Raidu here. Sultan pushing forward from the right back position again, looking to get his body between the opponent and the ball then. Bit of a stop-start affair inside the opening 10 minutes between these sides. Worth keeping in mind, only 4 goals scored by these sides on their way through to the third and fourth playoff. Has been the challenge, if there is to be one, for both Comoros and Mozambique in not only their group stages but also in the semi-finals, finding the back of the net. A man who scored 2 of those goals on the fields for Comoros, that being Joja, wearing the number 7 jersey, the captain of course, whilst the other man who scored 2 is of course Afani, who's another starter here today. For Mozambique, a couple of players that have found the back of the net are Dario and Chamito that start. 2 others that have found the back of the net are on the bench. Now, wayward pass here, Joja looking to get on to the end of it. Showing strength in protecting the ball, supported by Hassani. Now, good pressure applied. Yeah, keeper off his line, and that's what Gianluca was trying to take advantage of. Strike nowhere near the quality necessary, however. Again, good pressure applied, and Comoros under a tad bit of pressure in trying to play it up from the back here. Nice test by Bakri. So, close to 10 minutes gone by. No separating Comoros and Mozambique just yet as they battle for the early momentum here.
Just notice that they're circumspecting each other, no sort of foray of attacks. Now no one wants to just be caught flat-footed, and just knocking it around and sizing each other up and saying, when can we pounce? But if you ask me about pouncing, Mozambique is the one that looks like they could pounce before Comoros.
Joja kept alive then by Comoros as they try and go a bit direct this time on that far side. Good numbers back from a Mozambican point of view, making life difficult for Raidu to have it all his own way.
Raidu realized he's got no more room, and then he just went down, realizing that he tried to control the ball along the touchline. Then he's looking for something, and he says, I was pushed.
The side official was right next to him. Great position to make or not make that call. Gianluca. Not much in the way of options inside the box, so he didn't take the early cross into the field. Then they had to work it a bit then to get at least 2 in there. Dario joining in alongside Chamito. And in the end, they've got the corner to Mozambique.
Nothing wrong with dilly-dallying as long as you get something out of it, because they could score from the corner.
We are yet to have a clear-cut chance at goal here. Mozambique looking to create the first. Dario looking for his first assist of the tournament. Hit by Fernandinho.
It's not often, Caesar, that you get a defender getting a clear header like that. Karim unmarked. Instead, he's a defender, so that's the one that should always be found not marking anybody, because the big sort of hungry attackers would be pouncing on the ball, like we saw the case last time when Osama scored. But this is not the case now.
Now space to attack here for Georgia. Movement in fields. Options out on the far side, looking for what would have been a special ball then to compromise the Mozambique defense. And for the first time, he's tried to bring Kasim into it and hasn't quite found the quality, hasn't found his range as yet. Modinu starts his second match in a row here for Comoros for the first time in this tournament. The man who's fouled here. Dangerous play, extremely dangerous play then by Dario. That made contact with the opponent's head. Now, for the time being, 3 on the edge of the box, the 4th joining in. Make that 5 now that are standing on the edge of the box. Goal towards the far post, cleared by Dario. Georgia. Actually done in finding time and space. There's men over towards that far post again. His range hasn't quite kicked in as yet. Georgia couldn't get it beyond the first defender ahead of him. I was making the point before you made your way back up to commentary after your interviews before the game, Max Mapunyani, how you and I woke up this morning and were so impressed with the weather, blue skies, sunny, warm, and how over the last hour, just last hour, things have changed drastically. Now looking over the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium, a grey cloud looming quite low.
Yeah, in fact, we were driving along the beach and coming to here and thought, wow, that's the place to be.
Yeah.
And now suddenly we feel we can't go anywhere near the beach. And even during the coaches' interviews,
yeah,
it was beautiful, and suddenly it just changed. That's typical. This is 2, we sometimes have 3. It could be just rainy and windy later in the afternoon.
Offering his apologies then is Osama, that they expected a better ball in trying to clear his lines.
I'm just trying to think of what's going through the coach's mind, that is Jambe, the coach of Comoros, because Afani is on the bench, just like we saw in the past, where some coaches would say, I've seen what you can do, so I'll see you from the bench. Let me see how the team does without you. If you can recall Serra from Lesotho also, we were questioning why he's on the bench. It's not about that, it's about giving everyone a run. And Afani is on the bench for that reason, because they know he is carrying the team. So they want to see who else can carry the team.
Well, he would have wanted to catch up to the likes of Muzo and Tepu. With the goals, they are 1 goal ahead of him is Muzo, 2 ahead of him is Tepu. So a goal or 2 here could see him competing for the award ceremony, a place in the award ceremony later on in the day.
Then the question arises, whose plan is better, yours or coach's? Coach's plan is always better.
Yep, team first. Now, shot. Comfortable save for Armando, but first shot in angle from Comoros. Yes, Mark?
Yeah, no, I was just impressed when you say team first.
Looked like you didn't expect that from me. Georgia. On his day, which has been most of the time, I need to say, he really is one of those that's a joy to watch, is Georgia. Today, he's seen plenty of it, just a few of his attempts at bringing teammates into it, especially out on that far side and trying to go direct towards Kasim from left to right. His range hasn't been what we've grown used to over the last week and a half.
But give it to these players, they've really seen a lot of football.
Yeah.
In the last 14 days. I mean, when I say 14 days, I'm including days of training.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't mean they were not doing anything when they're not playing.
Strength. And winning the set piece here on the near side, protecting it well. as a Chamito. Georgia. Good movements coming from the middle of the park then. Again, well watched defensively. It's been a defender's game so far. Further frustration for Raidu here.
But Osama does that very often, and that is why the complaint to say, but how do you always just stick out your back on me? He does that with all the guys that are following him.
Brendan Val did a good job of getting ahead of the attacker and uses his body while he's already a big man, so it'll take quite a bit then to muscle him off the ball. Looking for Gianluca. Lost out to Karim. Is another defender that's had a very good tournament over the last week and a half. Karim wearing the number 5 jersey for Comoros. Gianluca, maybe the first to go into the referee's book here. And as he claims his innocence. In the meantime, his victim is Raidu checked into here.
It's just the hand or the whole arm across the chest. Now he touches the neck, almost got to the face. You know how players are. Wasn't that bad. It's just across the chest. And he didn't swing it, he just put it across. Oh, Raidu.
Some will say he's milking it for everything it's worth.
Milk it when you get a chance.
Now, set piece here for Comoros. Men on the edge of the box. Comfortable so far for Armando. Even the one shot he's had to deal with was the near post. Really didn't have enough venom to trouble him. Routine save it was.
Talking about routine save, he pulled a great save last time during a penalty kick.
In the semi-finals, you mean?
Yeah, unbelievable.
Georgia popping up on that far side for the first time, and again is passing not quite the standard we've grown used to. Keep in mind, Comoros lost 2-1 to Angola in the semi-finals to get to this third and fourth playoff. And as my colleague mentioned, looking back at this foul again, it's involving Gianluca, who is going to need to tread carefully from this point on. One loves to see strikers that get involved in the defensive aspect of the game, but he's already in a yellow. Now, Kasim popping up on this left side at 2 to deal with. One too many in the end. Karim will allow it to run on to Anzimati. Alsane. For the Mozambicans, they'll know the scoreline for them against Namibia in the semi-final, in the end losing out on the penalties.
Comoros have got a few notable deliberate rested players. I mean, your Hilali, your Tarek, the ones that could make a difference. Tarek on the left and in the middle, Hilali, and also up front. It looks like the coach took out the spine of the team to say, let me see how every department can do with new maestros. You know, at the back, he took out the left back, and in the middle, he took out the central midfield, and then up front, he took out number 17, the hate man, Afani, and thinking, let me see how we can progress without them. They're in the team anyway that will be playing the AFCON and the World Cup qualifier.
Movement in the central areas then, but then the ball from Georgia, far from what we'd expect. He was actually frustrated with himself off the ball after that last wayward ball. Now, two in the box here. Karim there to clear. Fernandinho to keep the pressure on, impressively. Getting beyond one. Now two in the box again, near post. Keeper's done well initially. Dario strike is denied impressively by Anzimati. Best chance of the game, that strike from Dario. Met it, wow, hit the sweet spot.
It was a great save also by the keeper, outstretched right leg and making sure that Dario doesn't find the target. But that's an early cross that made a difference. Then, that man again, Lorenzo, I mean, he just can't get his foot right today. In fact, Gianluca can't get his foot right. When he's supposed to strike, he fouls the opponent.
Approaching the midway point of this first half. Georgia. Completes the pass this time. Under pressure, knockout.
Very awkward pass. He played it with pace on a 10 and it just fell on the foot of his teammate.
Made it look easy. The difficulty level of that was actually quite high, considering there was two defenders on either side of him. And he looked to pass it to someone right behind him. Did well. Under the circumstances, a man who struggled with his passing range doesn't go a long way in lifting his confidence, Georgia.
He seemed to be the main man up front there. Well, he's a captain. He's got to lead by example.
They do. Alsani had to keep it moving then, with Dario working hard to try and win it back. Strength coming to the fore once again. Here on this near side. So, the latest to run into a brick wall in Sultan here on this near side is Nasser, the striker. Plays for the Bazimini out in Comoros. Only at 38 minutes of game time so far in his one appearance in this tournament has Nasser, so you can understand why he's been preferred to Afane, needing to give everyone as fair a run as possible. The thinking from Ahmad Jambe may be, look, let's see what he can offer on this final day. We already know what our top striker's about.
Suzo, you were talking about the sun, the rain, and cloudy. Now the sun is out, and this is the time we can get a goal. Make hay while the sun shines. Players should know that.
Yeah, very little separating these sides in ball possession stats. If you are just joining us, very even game thus far. Carrero operating in the middle of the park, able to keep it moving. Taking no chances, Armando. Hassane doing well to get a touch ahead of Dario. Still it rolls kindly for Mozambique here with Sultan. Now, foul will go against Mozambique on that occasion.
Akri is judged to have fouled his opponent while he was supposed to be fouled. He was at the back, that's why he clipped the opponent.
Chamito, in fact, it is, who's committed that foul.
Yeah, Chamito on the right wing with the jersey number 3. One of those strange ones where the defender is wearing, or a striker wearing a usually striker's position jersey number.
And Mati's distribution in this tournament has usually been very impressive. The man who plays is a tough football out in France. Very good addition to this Comoros squad. The goalkeeper, Gianluca, combining with Sultan on this near side, and that's what Hassani will give you in the middle of the park here for Comoros. He works extremely hard, the man wearing the number 6 jersey. Now, It's getting rather physical here. And a decision going with Comoros. Among the Tom, maybe reaching for a card once again here. We've seen one so far in this match, and Fernandinho will be the latest player from Mozambique to get into the referee's book, making it 2. Plays for Black Bulls. Chamito wearing the number 3 jersey is his club teammate. Both of them in the starting lineup here for Mozambique. Ooh, yeah, you can tell. There was a definite foul then. Comes across his opponent with a raised elbow. And once again, it's poor Raidu who's been the victim of a few of those.
Yeah, Fernando didn't need that and just lifted his elbow and got a yellow card for that.
Armando working hard and extremely vocal between the sticks here for Mozambique. Let themselves down with the quality of the balls in and around that final third. Comoros here inside the opening half hour. Good hustle. Forcing Osama to try and get it clear. Only as far as a man in green. Sani doing well to keep it alive. Back to Karim.
I sometimes wonder what happens when, or what could be the cause, that a player on a dead ball situation, you're not running, you've got time to recover, you're planning your placement of the set piece, and you hit it low and maybe to the opponent in front of you. I'm just always thinking, is that lack of concentration or what? Because you have to either overheat it but do something that is lifting the ball to the intended target. When you're running, I understand.
Yeah. Now, man down here, and it's Armando, the Acosta de Sol man, will be allowed as long as he needs to determine whether he can continue with the game or not.
I think it's a change of boots, Caesar.
The weather being what it is, the way it's changed this way and that, may be the reason why the change of boots is necessary. The good news for Mozambique is that they don't have to worry about a possible injury, so won't have to consider a forced change early on.
Isn't it interesting? He's changing boots and someone comes with a bucket.
Just in case.
Just in case he's injured.
Thumbs up from the match referee, Abongile Tom.
He signaled that there will be a minute or 2 chant.
So, Gianluca involved in the early stages with some nice touches. Also, the defender crashing into his teammates after he had his soul shaken.
That was a skill that left him nowhere, bumping against his opponent. I mean, his teammate. Wow, lovely.
Yes, again, some nice touches from Gianluca. It hasn't just been about the offensive game here. If you are just joining us, he's also picked up a yellow card. He works hard defensively in trying to defend right from the front. Sultan strong here on this near side defensively. Dario, nice touch again from Gianluca. He's moved now to make himself an option centrally. Carrello working it out wide. Good pace defensively out on that far side.
He showed it too much, and he played it early to set it for a cross. Could have kept it, and then when the opponent comes closer, then he accelerates.
Obaidullah plays for Gombesa Sports in Comoros. Georgia. Nice beyond one. Keeps it moving with Naimodine having a little touch. Georgia is still strong on the ball. That's more like it from him now. Here's a chance! Oh, it's a beautiful goal! Outstanding goal from Kasim. What a way to find your first of the tournament for a man who deserved to find the back of the net.
Oh, Kasim has always been running at opponents. We've seen him here and also at Isaac Wolfson. Running at opponents has been the strength of his game. But this one was a finish. And on the day when he's not running at opponents, I was wrong. I said Mozambique will score first, but they didn't take advantage during that time. But the pendulum have swung to the other side, and they took advantage.
Georgia starts it out to the far side. Strong, getting beyond about 2 or 3 players, showing good strength then. Gets the assist with the ball out to the near side, looking for Kasim. This time he finds him. Kasim says thank you very much and comes up with true quality in curling it around the Mozambique keeper, Armando.
He knew what he was doing. Look at how he puts that ball on the side, and then he turns the body and just swipes it. And just top corner. Against a good keeper, by the way.
Well, early on, had mentioned it on 2 or 3 occasions that Georgia hadn't quite found his form here as Armando. His teammates understand his frustration. So once Georgia got it going and was able to find Kasim, there's your opening goal then, and it's a good goal and lovely work of the assist from the far side. They swapped sides, those two. When on the left side, Georgia tried on a few occasions to go direct towards Kasim and overcooked the pass on a few occasions. Moves over to the right and no problems.
Was that for coincidence? You say 2 or 3 occasions, and he confirms 3, Armando. But, you know, that's, to me, you could see how I was beaming with a smile. Those are the goals I love. You bend them to top corner. There's no ways that the keeper can save them.
Daniel! Well, the 2 most influential players from either side now looking to grab this game by the scruff of the neck since Georgia has come to the party. Dario looking to do likewise, didn't miss by much, just curling away from goal then. Once it looked as though Antimati may have had it covered.
But also give credit to the defense. They put pressure on him that he had to hurry that shot.
Yes, Kasim. Couldn't find the right angle of the pass, and a couple of players making the run across the box then. Now, on the break here, Mozambique driving forwards. Early ball in, and crucial work defensively when he was outnumbered then. His positioning was absolutely top-notch for Ali Madi.
Every time when your teammate goes wide, you've got to have people sprinting into the box. Not one. I mean, as that ball was just bubbling, there was no other red shirt besides the man that was ahead of the action.
Quality work by Chamito here on this near side, by the way. Well, if you're just joining us with 10 minutes to go until the end of the first half, Comoros doing what they have done, which is shock a few during the running of this Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup. First to find the back of the net with a quality goal.
Shocking, you mean also by winning games that we didn't fancy them to, and went on to even be the first team to qualify in this tournament.
Yep. Truly the surprise package. Stomping down then was Sultan. Maybe a little lucky to get that decision going his way. Well, taking their time here patiently, looking to use the width of the field to move forward. Mozambique. That's Hustle. There's the man in your picture. Outside range, the number 6 for Comoros in the middle of the park. Didn't believe he did much wrong then with the Abongile Tom. Citing him for the foul. Here he is winning it back again. Does a great job in the middle of the park. He picked up his suspension and wasn't available for the semi-final. How they missed him then.
He's such a hustler, this Aslani.
Now, Jojo on the far side. Not just about the skill factor with him, he's also a very strong player in the way of protecting the ball is Jojo. There is Alsani again. Always there to try and break down attacks in the middle of the park.
He's a tall boy. Doesn't he remind you of Vieira?
Yeah.
Always in the faces of opponents in the midfield. His omnipresence always disturbs the opposition because then they don't know where he'll pop in again and say, hey, this guy's here again.
Now, numbers in the box here, cross disappointing. Have worked hard for one another in this tournament of the men from the Comoros. Dario looking for Sultan. Well, corner it is here to Mozambique, and that may be a questionable one then. Kasim thought he had done enough in protecting the ball for just a moment. Let's have a better look at it. Did he touch it? Yes. Good call, great call. Header. Lacking in power. Easy for Anzimati. Diaz, the man who couldn't generate enough power with that contact.
The difference between him and also the strikers that put the ball in the back of the net is as he came running, he just stopped and let the ball hit his head. But you know that the goals that we've seen here, we've seen strikers attacking the ball and meaning it, and just moving that neck and the head to the direction they want to.
Raidu working equally as hard as the likes of Alsani in trying to stem Mozambique's movement from the middle of the park. Attempted at the early ball forward then from Sultan, couldn't find the teammate on the far side. We approached the last 5 with Comoros very much in the driving seat. To their credit, they haven't really allowed Mozambique too many in the way of clear-cut chances. There's a shot from Dario, who's maybe had their 2 best shots so far and have gone wide of the mark here for Mozambique, but no clear-cut chances inside the box. That said, the goal scored by Comoros was from outside of the box, and something special from the man on your ball. Kasim. Fernandinho. Dario has the option out wide here on this near side, being Gianluca. The angle not doing him any favors as the recipient.
Gianluca didn't know whether Dario was going to release the ball or not, so he stopped, and Dario looked, and had he kept running, Dario was going to play it early.
A little frustrated.
He is, but solution is one. When you are the passer, and I'm sure a lot of passers or midfielders will agree with me that play the ball and let the guy just keep going. But once you dilly-dally, then he doesn't know when you're going to release it.
Not just that, he's also trying to watch the offside line. So there's things that are running through his mind that may make him slow down, like you do say. So in the end, they got that wrong. When he was slowing down is when the pass was released eventually. Osama. Sultan. Gianluca. Fernandinho. Gianluca. Nicely done in keeping it moving then by Carello. Dario. Sultan. passing in areas that weren't really going to hurt Comoros. Mozambique, Sultan now driving forward and hopeful on the right foot from quite some way out. Plays for Brera de Chimene out in Mozambique as a Sultan. This is just his second appearance of the tournament, only having had one other. The man wearing the number 18 jersey, playing at 90 minutes in the semi-final. That was his first showing in the tournament. In no hurry is Anzimati as we move in towards the last 2 minutes of this first half. Madi. Kasim does well to get a head onto it first, having to fight to keep possession here. He's done well as Kasim. Not only that, he gets to the pylon right now, cuts it back beautifully. Dario there, quite importantly, to win it back off Fernandinho. Done a stunning job to ensure it didn't land on the green shirts. The cutback must be an offside in this. So to Patswani from Lesotho, the far side official. Dario, the man who's committed the foul then, as Mozambique. Hold one. Gianluca making himself an option. Nicely done then, and finding Dario's run going into that box. They'll be happy to settle for the corner. Keep the pressure on the Comoros here in the closing stages of this first half. Nice take. Good work defensively then by Obeidullah. Now, outswinger. Good goalkeeping, great goalkeeping from Anzimati. Maria, or rather Pushra Kabubi, the fourth official. Signaling that there'll be 3 minutes added on to the end of this first half. Keep in mind, Comoros have never beaten Mozambique. Only met on one other occasion in the past these two nations in the history of the Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup. Sultan, as well as Hassani, getting a talking to. Dario. Gianluca. Great work defensively on the near side and keeping Gianluca as quiet as possible. Now, in a hurry to get it moving once again then is Osama. Diaz early with the ball forwards. Rolls kindly for Anzimati. Good vision, good pass to that far side. Now, unfortunately, couldn't be kept alive then by Fernandinho. Found himself in a fair bit of space on that far side. Time running out now for Mozambique in this first half. If they have to affect the scoreline. Georgia outnumbered on the far side. Set piece it is, with Georgia having been seen to have committed the foul. Plays his left football out in Namibia. There's the man who's got the assist so far, the only assist for the only goal scored impressively by Kasim, and his Comoros looking to, for the first time in their history, pick up the bronze medal in the Hollywood Best COSAFA Cup here. For Mozambique, while they've huffed and puffed and haven't really been able to open up that Comoros defense often enough, with their best chances falling to the captain with a couple of shots from the edge of the area, that being Dario, of course. Not too many chances in this first half, and in as far as the assist from Georgia, top-notch stuff for the only goal here at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium, with 45 minutes having gone by. It's Comoros 1, Mozambique 0. There you have it. Just about 50-50 here. Mozambique, the only side to have picked up yellow cards. They've got a few more in the way of goal attempts and shots on target, but nothing really to trouble Anzimati, with most of the shots going wide that have looked good. And again, it's Dario that has looked good in that regard. For Comoros, the best chance produced the best goal, and what a goal it was when it came from Kasim. Lots to do for Mozambique to turn it around here, but, well, with possession down at 50-50, it really has been a pretty even game, barring that moment of brilliance from Comoros.
Joining me is Mr. Menzi Ngobo, Senior Sponsorship Coordinator for Hollywood Bets. Mr. Ngobo, looking at the COSAFA Cup and your involvement, just share with us the relationship and how it works for you, or for both parties.
Yeah. Hollywood Bets and COSAFA Cup have had a wonderful relationship over the years, you know, and I think the catalyst for the relationship is our involvement in developing football across the African continent, you know, and COSAFA gives us a beautiful platform to be able to do that with 14 countries under their guise. It gives us an opportunity to really plow back to the development of African football in an international tournament like COSAFA, which is very prestigious, and it gives all the players that participate in it an opportunity to really show their mettle.
And also, I'm sure when you see a name or two that comes from here in any world stage, that should be bringing a lot of pride to you.
No, definitely. Not only that, you know, the referees that come to COSAFA, the coaches that are discovered through COSAFA, the former players, the legends that get, you know, involved with COSAFA tournaments and events, that gives us a wonderful platform and a good story to tell. And I think as the years go on, we're going to have an even better story to tell to the African audience.
Yeah, in fact, you're talking about former players and the TSG team.
Yes.
They're doing a marvelous job. I thought you would just be saying this is for what is happening on the pitch. But they're doing beyond that.
No, it's more than just about football. We always talk about the football ecosystem, and the ecosystem is everything else that people don't see. What's happening behind the scenes, the television crew, the journalists, you know, the former players. I mean, the TSG report is very important from a technical and tactical perspective when it comes to plowing back to the right stats and how coaches should prepare their teams and their players. So it's fantastic to be involved with everything else that's about COSAFA.
And also looking at the interns that the youngsters are getting. I mean, this internship helps them because I've seen a lot of young ones running around and running those chores, but also learning.
Yeah, so it's not just the journalist internship, it's also the medical internship with Dr. Tulani Ngwenya. You know, it gives them a wonderful opportunity. And I think opportunity which means it's a rare opportunity for people to be involved in an international tournament. What people don't understand is that COSAFA is not just a South African tournament. It's an international tournament. You know, it attracts crowds and dignitaries from across the African continent. As you will see today, we've got dignitaries from CAF. It speaks to the level and the quality of the tournament, and the youngsters are going to get a wonderful opportunity to be exposed in an international event.
You're talking about today, but even beyond today, you're looking at the July, the Hollywood bets all over the show. Yeah. You're really making a footprint.
No, for sure. Unfortunately, I missed out on the July, but I'm not complaining. I'm here in Gqeberha. You know, it's amazing what we doing. We're trying to paint the country purple, you know, but not just in color, through our efforts and our endeavor to make sure that we develop people. You know, there's one mantra that Hollywood Bets lives by, that's the spirit of Ubuntu. Ubuntu is about growing people and plowing back to the people, and that's what we are about. And us being here and being involved in everything that you see is to that, to bring the spirit of Ubuntu and togetherness to all the people.
Interesting you say that, because yesterday I happened to be in one of the shopping centers, and right in the center of that mall, it was just purple.
Yeah, no, for sure, because, I mean, we are the business of the people. So there's no Hollywood Bets without the people. So it's a vice versa. It's a two-way street. So what we do, once the people give trust and faith in their hard work and earnings on us, we have to give faith and trust in them by giving back to them and being involved in what they do. So painting the city and the town and the country purple is part of that mantra. So we're going to continue doing that, and we're going to continue supporting people.
Thank you. You're doing a good job.
No, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, and that's the man that is very, very passionate about his job. That's Menzingobo from a Hollywood Bet. But it's just one of those moments where you look back and say, wow, sometimes it is important to get the sponsorships, to get all those areas that he referred to be working, and also giving the youngsters those opportunities that are rarely found. But we are talking about the Comoros against the Mozambique, and this is half-time. And my guest very soon, who will be joining me, and is the man that has always been there for me. That's Elrio van Heerden. This is the man that played soccer for Copenhagen, played soccer for Club Brugge in Belgium, and also right here at home for Golden Arrows. So we are talking to a man that knows his story. Elrio, let's talk about the first half. Your take on it.
Yeah, from the start, Max, it was a bit scrappy. You know, teams trying to find the feet and the momentum. And I saw the number 7 of Comoros. They were sitting well, Yusuf. Some good things from him, being on the ball. One good moment of brilliance, and created a nice goal.
Yeah, talking about the nice goal from the number 8. That's the man that has always been pushing forward, Karim. And yes, the man that today sat back, decided I'm not going to be attacking on the wings, but the killer.
It's just a brilliant goal, you know, and the most important thing is him keeping the width. Keeping the width, and the number 7, Yusuf, running across the field with the ball. supplying him there with a good first touch, and then he just curled it in. Some great technique.
You're talking about Yusuf. Did you see the strength leading to that when he was just shoving the opponents apart?
He's very strong. I think there's a few moments in the game also when he's controlling the ball with the chest. You can see his physical attributes is very good.
Armando, not an ordinary keeper, but that can beat any keeper in the world.
Brilliant. Like I said, it's a good finisher. Great technique. His first touch helped him a lot, and then he just put it in the top corner.
Yeah, but then that's composure. Often you'll find people wanting to hit it first time. Did you see how he just put it on the side and then killed it?
Yes, 100%. Like I said, keeping the width, buying yourself some time and space, and then a good first touch was very important. You could see the angle of his body and how he placed it was very well.
And then Mozambique trying to respond. Dario Melo, also a man that has been trying. The little number 7 is a busy man there, but this is just the moment where he thought, we've just been hurt. And as he was striking, I give credit to the defense there. They put their bodies on the line, making him to rush that.
Yeah, 100%, you know, because we know how dangerous he is when he's on the ball. And I think him getting closer and closer to the box, it's good defending.
And you could see that every time when he was charging, the ball was just drifting away.
Yeah.
So the reason why he couldn't hit the target, he just lunged at the ball, and then as it was spinning away from him.
Yeah, but like you were saying, also the defenders coming closer, you know, that throws you off, so you don't have a free shot on target. So I think if he had time and space, I think it could have been on target.
You here with me, the coach of Mozambique in particular is in that change room frustrated. He wants to come back. Yeah. What do you think he should do to come back?
I think 100% is get Dario more on the ball, I think, and get more creative going forward, create some more chances, because what we've been seeing is a lot of long balls that's been going forward. Let's put the ball down, let's play.
Yeah, let's play. Here's a man that's playing, Lorenzo. I mean, Lorenzo is the number 10 that is always getting those chances, but the skills, I mean, he got fouled, he was fouling, he had mixed the first half. He got a yellow to just compliment his hard work.
Yes, he's probably not sitting that well in the game. You can see he's trying there.
Good
but
skills,
I think
though.
Good skills, yeah, but let's get the ball quick in the box so that we can get people at the end of it.
Interesting, we're seeing all this, and then you look at the scoreboard, and it says something different.
100%, like we always say, Max, that doesn't give you the score. Huh?
That doesn't give you goals at all.
Yes, exactly. Yeah? So be more effective when you're in the final third, and then get the result.
Some youngster might be thinking, you and I are old school coaches. Why do you want us to always go wide, whipping the cross? Because they still have to do these things.
No, 100%. You know how the football is today. Some people, you dribbling and not going past your men, it's not effective, you know. You know, we need to, with purpose, there must be purpose behind it and end product. That's
when we're talking purpose, we're talking about a man that used to come from the halfway line, there's El Rio, and take on 1 or 2 and whip in the cross from the left-hand side. And when you say that to any youngster, it becomes a bit of a challenge. Like, but my peers are messing around with opposition.
Yeah, 100%. I always say, you know, giving advice and telling these boys that you need to be, like I said, you have to be purpose behind your actions, you know. Don't just dribble for no reason, but be effective so that you can help your team.
I can't leave you without now asking you the $1 million question. You're 1 up, you know it's for a bronze, and you need to keep the game. How does or how do you go out as Comoros and say, I want to keep this game?
Yeah, we've seen them. They're very compact at the back. I think if they continue doing that and keep Mozambique as far away from the goal as possible, I think they can succeed and maybe get another goal as early as possible and then sit back and defend.
Well, sit back and defend is what they may do. And we'll be back in the next 45 minutes and bring you the second half of this match between Comoros and Mozambique.
Well, it's Comoros looking for their first ever bronze in the Hollywood-based COSAFA Cup as they lead Mozambique with a 1-0 scoreline. Second half coming up, both sides now out of the tunnel. And, well, they've done a good job defensively. The biggest threat from Mozambique has been a couple of shots from Dario from outside of the box in protecting Anzimati. One could argue Comoros have relied on the best part of the tournament so far, which is defensively, where they really have been solid alongside Karim, the man in your picture, leading that defense. It is Mozambique that will get the second half underway. Battling in the middle of the park hard has been Alsani here in your picture, and who didn't feature in the semi-final. Sorely missed, one could argue. Played his tough football out in Djibouti for Artasola. Few supporters arriving now ahead of the final, with the weather being what it is. It started off sunny here in Qabeja, so now cloudy and windy, and a change being made here. Mehmed, I should say, is the man that will be coming on. Gianluca makes way, already on a yellow card. That's one of two changes being made by Mozambique. Volta is another man that will come into the attacking areas here to try and help Mozambique level matters in the efforts to turn things around here in the second half. Armando didn't have much to do in that first half in the way of making saves. Was beaten by a quality goal from Kasim, one of the best we've seen in the tournament thus far. Thought about playing it out from the back, not allowed to do so with the shape Comoros took in and around that box and trying to close down the options. So route one it is for Armando. Dario. Sultan. Did fine moment, and then his first touch let him down. Osama looking for Dario under a bit of pressure from Alsani, who's running back in a good area. Kasim with the early ball in. Came off Dario, so couldn't find Georgia at the top of the box. Nicely done by Mozambique, driving forward with Fernandinho. Again, a wayward ball from him. Ahmadine on right to the far side. Bakri. Battle on then between Alsan and Dario in the middle of the park. In the end, the Mozambican captain seemed to have fouled the midfielder from Comoros. Karim it is. Looking for a teammate on the edge of the box. Ahmadine back to Karim. Under pressure, so had to quickly release it, setting it upfield, and with a hopeful ball towards the teammates. Battle on here on this near side. Vaidu forcing the decision the way of Comoros. So for Comoros, who was so impressive in protecting Anzimati with that long ball forward, they'll look to continue in the same vein here in the second half. Changes for this Mozambican side. We'll see them hoping that they can find a bit more penetration here, create clearer chances and get more box entries here in the second half. Still, the battles continue in the middle of the park here between these two sides. Foul this time against Nasser. Did well to keep it moving then, Carrello. Under a bit of pressure in the middle of the park. Again, Comoros having numbers behind the ball here. Mozambique trying to build from the back. Well, it's Chamito. A challenge on the edge of the box then, and well, Comoros continue to do a good job defensively. Dario running onto what was looking a hopeful ball forward. As Mozambique look to fight their way back into this game here. Have averaged a 1.9 goals per match. 38 goals played or scored in 20 matches as we look at the skill out to that far side and keeping it moving. The touch, beautiful work in eliminating two. Couldn't add a third to the mix. Space now. Early ball from Raidu, just the one target in the box, hoping to win the decision. Then was Nasser, closely washed by Sultan. Carrello to Dario. Good movement in the middle of the park. The ball is a lovely one, and the equalizer, absolutely top notch from Mozambique. Chamito with his second of the tournament, and what lovely work in how they broke down the Comoros defense. Well, they celebrate the equalizer that we're looking for here inside the opening 5 minutes of the second half. Lovely run, meshed by a beauty of a ball, then gets there ahead of Anzimati. Still had a lot to do with Chamito. Quality in the ball and the vision. Two of them breaking down a 5 or 6 defensively. Its final touch, absolutely top-notch and getting the better of Anzimati. Two beautiful goals we've seen in this third and fourth playoff. Mozambique right back in it. Pressure on Anzimati. From Chamito once again, working hard from the front. So the changes coming to a good effect here for the Mozambicans. Just what they were hoping for early in the second half. Equalizing goal. I think a beauty. Was always going to be crucial, that first goal of the second half, if it was to come. And for the Mozambicans, they would have come out of that change room feeling it need to be them that scores that equalizer. The likes of Carrello working hard in the middle of the park then, and again, when the run and pass are as good as what they were in opening up their defense, it makes for a thing of beauty, especially when the finish matches the quality in the build-up.
And the beauty of that finishing is he didn't want to blast the keeper, Chamito. He knew where the keeper was, and the keeper was hesitant. That is why his teammates thought, in fact, the opponents thought he was offside, and he just lifted it over the keeper. The beauty was this celebration. The coach joined them, and he knows the dance. That's when you treat them like youngsters, building them, and you want to be part of them. You get into their heads. They taught him the rhythm.
Well, important for Victor Madine, who has mentioned the importance of this game and trying to get the bronze medal for Mozambique. The fact that he celebrated the equalizer in the fashion that he did also goes to show his players that we really do want to end with that bronze medal. It's not just another third and fourth playoff. It means something to get that bronze. So here they are with Fernandinho. Just 2 inside the box here. It's Mozambique working in there, way too close to Anzemati. Diaz with the initial touch. Carello's quietly gotten on with business impressively in the middle of the park. There's a man down here. In fact, make that 2 men down from either side. Abongile Tom showing the yellow card to Halsani. That'll come as no surprise. Won't be his first. I think it's his 3rd of the tournament now. I've mentioned throughout the day here today that he's one that gets stuck in the middle of the park and does a great job of disrupting opposition play, at times going a bit overboard.
He stopped on his opponent. He wanted to go through the opponent, but yeah, Georgia, he just got hurt, and I'm trying to understand what happened there.
It was Sultan, I think, that came in with the challenge on Georgia. There's a goal once again here. Dario involved, space to turn here. So much to do in finding the quality ball and that movement in the run.
But the pass was across the body and with a lot of precision. And that's the time when you realize that Chamito has nothing to do but to put it past the diving keeper.
Challenge is still flying in the middle of the park here. A few men flying about as the play is allowed to continue. Karim gets the touch to keep it rolling for the men in green. Once the bounce comes into effect, there could be problems. Discomfort in getting it clear. The follow-up shot! Oh, brings the save of the match out of Armando. That was going in towards the roof of the net from Raidu.
Oh, he struck it so well. And that Raidu just knew that it just needs to be struck first time. And Armando was waiting for that. Didn't he just make a brilliant save?
Glad we started the second half here. Raidu now looking to find a teammate. Georgia. Overlapping run, uses a decoy, ball into the far post. Makes his creep in, yeah. Needed to be dealt with by Armando. Still discomfort until Armando settles it all here for Mozambique defensively. Quick with the ball upfield.
Yeah, that was the bubble moment of uncertainty. Nobody knew what was happening. And
it came off the frame of the goal, didn't it?
Yeah, it came off the crossbar. What a save, though.
What a strike. So we've seen a goal here, a save, and the ball coming off the frame of the goal as well. Inside, just over 10 minutes played in the second half. They've upped the ante in the second half after what was a bit of a slow start inside the opening 24-25 minutes. Alsane. Karim. Nicely done. Good handling from Armando then. Now, problem, he seems to have picked up an injury. Not sure if it was in the landing. To the right knee seems to be a bit of a problem, or is it the right calf?
I think he's pointing at the right calf.
Nasser applying pressure. Is that the moment where he picked up the injury? I don't think so. No contact. That was a little bit earlier when he still came up with a stunning save then. One of these saves of the tournament. Oh, what a save.
What a strike. Volley, mid-air, hit it well, everything. keeper was equal to the task.
Was already running off to go celebrate. Was that Raidu then? Plays for Fomboni FC. So, whilst they have found the equalizer, the response from Comoros is a bit of a reminder here for Mozambique that, well, it's far from over. The battle will continue for the third goal of this match. Good news for that Mozambique bench is that Armando is able to continue. Conceded only second goal of the tournament in this match here in the goal scored by Comoros.
Caesar, you have to notice that often after a keeper makes a brilliant save, he will pretend to be injured because then he gives us the time to show that slow-mo. And it's why it's either they do that or they scream at their defenders. It's natural with keepers because they're hardly shown for 90 minutes except when they do that, making that save.
Well, ball in here, not dealt with defensively, and Comoros not punished effectively. Frustrated with himself then is Mohammed, the man who's coming off the bench.
No, that's Al-Mahdi. I don't know what he was doing there. He almost landed on his nose. That was awkward.
Al-Mahdi with a gift for Mohammed. Plays for Al-Daid as the man who's missed that opportunity. Could have even taken the extra touch with the closest defender to him down on the floor. Had two options infield as well. That was actually a glorious opportunity for the Mozambicans, not used up.
Yeah, I mean, Mohamed comes on and could have been a hero in the second half after replacing the number 10. That is Gianluca. And you think, why did you do that?
Well, we've had 1 hour of football here. And both these sides upping the ante in the second half. Chances now being created on either side of the field, or moments with some regularity.
They just gathered in the middle there. I thought, oh, this reminds me yesterday. Congratulations to the Springboks against the Ireland. And 27-20. What a fight, what a game.
Well, after the disappointments for the South Africans in the COSAFA Cup, Springboks may be putting a smile on the South African fans, sport-loving fans' faces.
Always bails us out, isn't it? Our emotions was glued to that game, Caesar. What a game, tight game.
Georgia having 3 around him. Foul against Georgia. They were hoping there was to be a decision going their way, Comoros, then, with Raidu feeling he was fouled late in that particular play. As I make that statement, there are a few more supporters that are trickling in out on that far side. We're hoping those numbers add up on our way through to the final.
They know about the big final. Angola versus Namibia. That's the real deal of today. On the closing days is where we need to see more fans enjoying themselves.
Pull out a play on that far side. Well, for Mozambique, silver medalists in 2008 and 2015. Got the bronze in 2009. So 2008 and 2009 were consecutive years where they got to the semi-finals. 97 was the other year where they picked up the bronze. This by far the best showing by any team from the Comoros. A quarter-final berth was their best in the past, and that was the only time they got out the group stages. This just the second time they've moved out the group stages, and here they are, fighting for a bronze medal, making the change now. Nasser will be making way. Idari coming on. Again, Omar coming on. Interesting. As well, the set piece is one here by Comoros. That the foul is on Georgia. Been fouled on a good number of occasions since the start of this second half. As for the card, it was a little slow in coming, but it will go. In fact, there's a bit of a surprise here to Ahmed Chambey, the man originally from France who leads Comoros. May have had too much to say.
I wonder what he was complaining about.
The foul, I think, on Georgia, and maybe lack of action from a card being shown.
And the card was shown to the wrong man.
Got what he wanted, the card. Good communication here by Amando. As soon as he called, his defense were very quick to relax and allow the ball to push on through. Now, Diaz was the man that went up against Georgia. They may have felt there was an illegal elbow.
He had a point, though. Chambey had a point, because that elbow was just on the neck of the opponent, and Diaz was supposed to be given a yellow card, and it wasn't the case.
Now, Nasser started the match as the striker, which came as a bit of a surprise that Afani wasn't given a chance to go on and battle for the top goal scorers award. Man down here, so play will be brought to a halt for the time being. The change made by Comoros sees Nasser, the striker, making way, and Idari coming on in his place. Another striker who's only played 25 minutes of football in this tournament so far. So Afani is still on the bench and being kept on ice for the time being, if you will.
The Angola coach, that is Jose Concalves, he is just watching, but has got nothing to do about today's game. He's got to be focusing now on Namibia. I saw Dario there signaling that the change must be made. Looked at the bench because of that injury.
We've already made a couple of changes at the start of the second half for Mozambique. Some of the regulars coming on. Momedo with a chance to put them into the leads. Got it horribly wrong. Volta, who's most definitely been a regular throughout the tournament, also coming in, wearing the number 14 on his back. This is a fourth appearance of the tournament, Volta. There he is, getting a talking to right now, middle of your picture, with Victor Martin. In fact, that could be the next change that will be made. Edmundo may be coming on.
The man injured is number 16, that's Carello. So that he could be coming on. Yes, he is coming in for him.
Plays his club football for Desportiva de Maputo. It's only at 25 appearances or 25 minutes and 3 appearances as we look at Carello. The man is replaced out on that bench, injured. Dario stands over this. Could go for goal or look for teammates. Looking for the run on the far side, and great goalkeeping by Anzimati. Read that superbly, and his positioning allowing him, of course, to move over to the far side and deal with the danger.
I think what was key there is decisiveness. He just decided, I'm going for this, and it's my height, and just stretch the hands, get it. That's very important. As for the goal, though, he was indecisive there.
Alsani winning the set piece on the far side. Now the turn of Armando to organize his two-man wall. In swing of this will be. Oh, Lord, a lovely header from Georgia. The danger man gets a goal to go with his lovely assist, and Comoros are back in the lead.
He is the right replacement for Afani. He has really been doing the dirty work up front, and his experience comes in handy. How's that for a glancing header? He let it just slip on top of his head and finding the far post. Keeper didn't react. Look at his positioning, Sizwe, as he just goes there and knocked it. He just didn't want it to hit his head. He knocked it. He knew where he wanted to put it.
Drove it beautifully away from Armando Georgia. This is his third goal of the tournament. Just one behind Depu now in the way of the leading goal scorers, joining Museu amongst the top in the tournament. And what a tournament it has been for Georgia. Struggled in finding his range in the opening 25 minutes, then pops up and gets the assist. And here he is, just before 70 minutes, putting Comoros back in the lead. Have been a number of those players in this tournament that really have stood out from not just a goal scoring point of view, but from a creative standpoint. You have to talk Maestro and Georgia, put them in the same bracket, and maybe even Dario from a Mozambican point of view. Those that have been a joy to watch, just with the all-round game that they brought into this Hollywood-based COSAFA Cup of 2024, Marks.
Yeah, very interesting. It's just been one of those where you look at the teams and you think these teams have just been looking and getting better and better all the time. And Comoros is one of those that you're talking about. I heard I heard the coach of Comoros trying to complain when the ball was when the whistle was blown, only to find that it's his player who's got a hamstring problem. But he obviously was mumbling low because he just got his yellow card earlier.
It is cold, and well, you can tell shorts weren't the greatest idea in the world. Well, the one gentleman in your picture a moment ago, but you can forgive him. Early this morning, it really looked warm. A few were out and about, and the locals wearing t-shirts and shorts. So the weather turned over the last couple of hours. Comoros will be making another change here. Imodine will make way. Abdel Badide coming on in his place. Under 20 minutes remaining now in this match, and for Mozambique, once again be looking to level matters here with Dario on the ball. Fernandinho being rushed by Georgia in the end. It's forced the error. Keeper was off his line. Shot really calling for the comfortable save then from Raidu.
I know it's too early, but I'm just content to say Comoros continues to surprise from day one. They opened the tournament, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken.
No, South Africa.
It was South Africa and who? In our group, in the group A.
Yep. Now pull across, keeper doesn't hold. Oh no! Somehow the block denies Comoros what could have been a third. They were in trouble then defensively. Battle continues between these two sides from a physical standpoint, and in the end, Comoros commit the foul here. Another card will be shown.
Up there, straight from the bench.
Yep.
That was his first contact with the opposition and the ball. Gee, didn't he swing his foot there? The first tackle was good. The second was just making sure that he just kicks.
Last chance here for Comoros. Kasim again with some lovely work with that ball in. They were in all sorts of trouble after that touch from Armando.
He's been very good, this Kasim, throughout the tournament. Lovely cross. Oh.
It's Raidu again, who's denied by that block. Remember, he had that spectacular shot calling for the save of the match from Armando earlier. From much closer this time, may have thought, here's my chance to get in amongst the scorers, and denied by a well-timed block. Goal-saving defensive play and covering for the goalkeeper that's in a spot of bother now, looking okay and able to continue. Two yellow cards apiece here so far. Anyway, will do for Comoros in trying to get that clear. 7 goal attempts apiece. Close game, this game of margins, really. When you look at the shots on target, the scoreline.
Osama there didn't give you the defender's sort of intuition when he gets into that area. It's like, just whip it forward and run back. Worried about his position, not the final picture of this moment that he's got. Just kick it forward and high.
Well, he's worried about his part in the game, and that's not to allow Comoros to get the 2-goal cushion. Let the attackers do their job. I'll handle mine at the back. He is strong. It's Georgia. Kasim with the miscue. The challenge. Well placed challenge on that occasion from Obeidullah.
It was very uncharacteristic of Kasim there. He's always graceful on the ball, but that time he just wanted to whip it. Just shows you that everything just wants to be touched gently as always.
Once that ball does bounce, could be problems. Yeah, the problems! Click, click, bang! Standing strike, equalizer of high quality in the brace for Chamito.
Since that bounce, I just thought he's lost. Because he got underneath the ball in no man's land. The only man that was looking at that and smelling a red was the goalkeeper. And as he was smelling the red, that's when Chamito whacked it. Low and hard. That is a finish of quality.
Hopeful ball forward, but once the bounce comes into effect, they're in trouble. Oh, what a strike. First time, bang, from Chamito.
Omar, just the mistiming of the bounce. What a goal.
Well, see, he's a third of the tournament now. Joins as well. And Georgia on 3 goals, 1 behind. Depu, who's leading the scoring charts. Well, we expected a competitive 3rd and 4th playoff here as the starter before the main course, which is the final. Well, they've set up 4 goals. There's 12 minutes to go. It's swinging this way and that, the momentum.
Don't take this 3rd and 4th places for granted. I still remember the best in AFCON. It was DRC. In Burkina Faso, DRC against Burkina Faso. What a 3rd and 4th place contest. 7 goals experience, but it was thrill a minute.
Now, both coaches made it clear that bronze medal would be important, and we heard those words before the game got underway when they were speaking to Max Maponyane, but hoped the players would come out and prove those words true, and boy, have they. Now, looking for the lead once again here, Comoros. They've led twice in this match. Georgia, for once, muscled off of it, this time by Osama. Dario driving forward. Looking for the eye of the needle. Giving chase then was Chamito. Looking to use his pace once again to unsettle that Comoros defense.
Suddenly that belief is just raising all the time. As they would say, hope springs eternal now, because they realize we can win this.
They haven't led in this match. Georgia. Nice little turn. Driving into trouble, however, with 4 players in Mozambique colours around him. Raidu couldn't keep it moving. Omeda protecting the ball, then winning the set piece. Clever. Once the ball was between him and the opponent, hit the brakes, knowing the defender would no doubt clatter into him from behind.
I'm just imagining coming from church, and just when you settle, you treated to such beautiful goals. The first, and that is for Comoros, and the equalizer. I don't mind watching them the whole afternoon until there's something to the contrary later, or even much better than those.
Now, can they lead for the first time in this match? Dario. Volta looking to whip in the cross. It had gone out for the goal kick, however.
There was a bit of confusion there as they were discussing. That's when Dario said, no, just go wide. I will just string it along the line. He didn't get it. That is why he reacted very late.
Well, looking at the third and fourth playoffs in the past, Max Maponyane, this, of course, standing out in just the number of goals and sheer excitement here in the second half. Last year, South Africa and Malawi in the third and fourth playoff. It ended with a 0-0 scoreline, went to penalties, with South Africa winning on penalties. The year before, 1-1 was the scoreline between Senegal and Mozambique. Mozambique in the third and fourth playoff a couple of years ago. Again, it ended 1-1. That went down to penalties as well, with Senegal winning it. Mozambique in the third and fourth playoff back in 2021 again with Eswatini this time. 1-1 as a scoreline, penalties. The most entertaining from a goal scoring point of view in recent years was Zimbabwe-Lesotho in 2019. 2-2 the scoreline, penalties. Here we are, 2-2 the scoreline here, and once again it may be penalties for what will now be the 5th year running in a third and fourth playoff.
So it just confirms that there's always something to play for there.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw with our own Bafana in the AFCON, there was something to play for, and they just went on to win it. So it was through penalties also, isn't it? So it just shows you that third and fourth place is something to die for.
Georgia.
In this case, die is used lightly.
Well, always is. There's times when we use the phrase do or die as well, going into matches as sportscasters.
And every time when you didn't do, you don't die.
Yeah. So, the last third and fourth playoff, and it didn't go to penalties, was back in 2016 when Eswatini beat DR Congo with a 1-0 scoreline. Can either one of these two find a winner? Again, is allowed to bounce.
I don't know, Caesar, maybe it's because we've watched too many games, including the later ones in Europe. But you look at such opportunities of that equalizer as we see this wasted pass, and you can feel it when the ball says hit me. And already I just thought, no, you can't go under the ball. And then he was punished. At this level, you get punished.
Yep. Karim reading that well. Doja. You're actually saying you could feel it. And that just before the ball bounced, I did mention once the ball bounces, there's trouble. And it bounced and there was trouble. Big trouble.
And also depending on the position, because he didn't want it to bounce, but it suddenly bounced in front of him. The delayed reaction. Sometimes press it down before it goes up, because then at least you eliminate the worst. And with the likes of Depu around you, you'll be punished worse. Yep. You'll see a lot of those in the second game.
Now, cross come shots, no problems for Anzimati.
Before this draw, that's when Comoros were leading 2-1. That's when they could have scored the second and the third. Remember?
Yep.
2-3 chances before they equalized.
Fernandinho finding himself in a bit of space now. Oh, he was again looking for the movement of Chamito then between the two defenders. Angle didn't do the recipients any favors.
He had an idea. He wanted to thread it there, as you call it, eye of the needle. And just that, the needle just wasn't playing ball.
Tried to keep it alive here on this near side, and it wasn't to be for Kasim. I'll be looking for distance with this throw in here. Good first touch. Raidu with the ball in. Keeping that defense honest. Now, Joja seems to have committed the foul. Fernandinho, the victim this time around. The Black Bulls man will be in need of some attention here in the minutes leading up to 90 minutes. Penalty shootouts could very well settle these two to the end of 90. Well, after chesting the ball, then unintentionally his arm comes across and makes contact with Fernandinho's face. So keep in mind, later on we will be bringing you the 2024 COSAFA Cup final between Angola and Namibia. 4 goals in the third and fourth playoff so far, just to set up what should be a interesting final at the very least. Then lovely ball played over the top of this near side, and the early shot hopeful in trying to catch Armando getting back to his line. Some way off the mark in the end then from Idari. There's a Troja on the turn. Dario now. Nice one to Fernandinho. Straight into, and Zimati was positioned well. Had a good second half, Fernandinho. This is a first start of the tournament, having come off the bench on a few occasions. Hassani. Well, Mozambique determined not to give away any opportunities late in the match here, as the change will be made, and Hassani, or rather, coming on here for the Mozambicans will be the man known as Maestro. Came off the bench late in the second half in the semi-final as well, did Maestro. Amongst those that took penalties and took his with the plum. Five minutes added on to the 90. Still time to find a winner here. Armando not wasting any time this time in trying to send the ball upfield. You remember in the semi-final he seemed to be wasting time and looking forward to the penalty shootout. That didn't work out against the Namibians. Walter. Diaz. Now, chance to look for that late dramatic winner for a side that is yet to lead in this match. Twice they've come from behind Mozambique.
Hasn't it been always that when we suspect that penalties will happen and they just happen? So we're the best of friends until the last shot, the last kick.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the two will just want to give it away now. You've got to be decent. You can't make mistakes. It's for 3 minutes, if you like, of the 5 minutes edit remaining, so you've got to focus.
Yeah, easier said than done. There'll be those out there with the ability, of course, to force errors in one's game. Those to have the magical vision or touch.
Got worried there when you say easier said than done. It's not easy to concentrate. Just concentrate, last 2 minutes. We've seen a lot of such recently, isn't it? Penalties, extra time.
Foul here by Kasim, little nudge on the back of the defender. Karim, heavy first touch. Could be problems here for Comoros as, the cutback was misplaced then. Better ball and could be a chance on definitely for Mozambique late in that match.
Isn't that the concentration we're talking about? You can't do that with seconds remaining and try to turn without looking, and you place it on the path of a non-rushing striker or a hungry opponent. Doesn't have to be a striker now because they're throwing everyone forward.
Better clearance this time from Karim as he finds Raidu.
It's that bounce again.
Yeah.
Time the bounce.
Good work here on the near side. Now, just two options inside that box. In the end, was always going to be Armando's ball. Maestro, good movement. Just the one target, and again, can't angle it right enough to get Chamito to have a go at trying to find his hat-trick. Joja. Spacey on this near side for Comoros with under 30 seconds remaining on the clock. Again, the attempt to try and get in behind the defense. We'll see them happily sending for the corner.
That's an interesting substitution with seconds remaining. It's like this man must come on now to take his penalty.
Well, it will be interesting to see whether Hussein and the men coming on will take the penalty, or will be amongst the penalty takers should we get there, Mafa. Plays tough football in Mozambique for Pereira de Chumene. Now, Dario it is with a clearance. Now, Chamito looking to kickstart the counter-attack. Wasn't to be, and that's how this third and fourth will end. Another going to a penalty shootout, which has been the norm in recent years here in as far as the Hollywood Best COSAFA Cup. But what entertainment between these two sides, with Chamito bagging a brace and Kasim and Joja also finding the back of the net. What a contest, especially in the second half, with Mozambique coming from behind on two occasions to level matters here and take us to the penalty shootout.
Very interesting game, especially the second half, as you rightfully said, CJ. But the highlight of the second half for me was that Karim goal, the opener, and then the final, the equalizer, making it 2-2. And that, to me, was just a cracker.
So, it's Comoros 2, Mozambique 2, and the penalty shootout to determine who gets the bronze. Well, after entertaining in the fashion they have over the 90 minutes, 5 to step forward from either side here. And, well, one of these sides getting to this third and fourth playoff through losing in the penalty shootouts. That, of course, would have been Mozambique losing in penalties to Namibia. Comoros involved in their first shootout of this year's tournament.
Says well, number 21 that you see on your picture there, Simango. He hasn't touched the ball, just came on. Maybe the first touch will be the penalty. Shouldn't he be stretching? Shouldn't he be just running up and down a bit? Could pull a muscle and don't even have the feel of the ball. That's the man that they should be just say, get the feel of the ball.
Well, here he is. He came onto the game with minutes remaining, and it will be interesting whether Hussein Simango will take the penalty. I played one game in the past, just 90 minutes for the Mozambicans. This is his second appearance. Just minutes he was out there for, just a couple of them. Never got a touch. Twice they led. Still, whether they finished third or fourth, the men led by Joja will know this a history-making run for Comoros. Mozambique have twice won the bronze medal here. So, second penalty shootout this will be for the 2024 Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup.
And second for Mozambicans within 2 days.
Lost out last time, they'll want to win it this time around. not looking nervous. I'm wondering if he will step up, Hussein, and take a penalty. We'll find out in the next few minutes, of course, as both sides now will be making their way to the center circle. Comoros already decided on their 5, already making their way and well within that center circle, whilst the Mozambicans now start to make their move.
I've just noticed one player that will not take a penalty from Mozambique. I think I'm right. This is Omar, number 4. He's just been trying to be busy, collect bottles, trying to stay away from people who volunteer to take penalties.
Diaz, that is, you mean, to number 4?
Yeah, Diaz, yes. Where he just thinks, I'm not going to be doing that thing. Let me look busy, then they mustn't even call my name.
Being reminded of their job and what the rules are when it comes to dealing with penalties. The first to make a save, if he can, is Armando from Mozambique. Or maybe not. See that Azimati has moved to go grab the ball on the penalty spot whilst Armando moves off the line. So Mozambique it will be with Omede, I believe it is, the first to step forward. Azimati plays that football in France, looking to put immediate pressure on Mozambique with a save, if he can, from Omede, or even a miss. Came in off the bench in the second half and looking to give Mozambique the advantage with the first penalty taken. Keeper sent the wrong way, perfect start. It is for Mozambique. Cool as you like, Mohamed.
Looks like it works for players when the whistle goes. They don't rush, they wait, take their time, and the keeper jumps around. He says, when you're done jumping around, I'll just put it where I've decided. Beautiful, opening the foot. Nothing wrong with that. Not one of those stunning rooftop, no, but does the job. Open the legs, power.
No surprise then to see Georgia stepping up to take the first for Comoros. Scored a stunning header. 3 goals scored in the tournament. Job well done for the captain in leading them this far. Just one more task for him to try and complete here. From the spot. Oh, it's found the back of the net then. Impressively with Armando having guessed the right way. Still has the beating of the Mozambican keeper, does Georgia.
Oh, looking at Armando there grimacing, he feels that I could have touched that. That's a wry smile that says, I was there, almost there. Power makes a big difference this way.
So, stepping forward now. The man who's coming off the bench, then Maestro coming off the bench to take a penalty successfully in the semi-final. Maestro, with the keeper having guessed right, finds the bottom corner.
Took it well, bottom corner, far from the keeper. When you guess right, as long as it's going further on the inside of the net, not the back, the inside, then you are safer. This Maestro has scored. We're having another Maestro coming up later.
Hassani now. Looking to level matters at 2-2. Up against Armando. Standoff between the two. Finally, Hassani begins to make his movements. Poor penalty. Good save nonetheless from Armando.
Armando did well there. He didn't go the opposite way, but it was a poor penalty. Very poor. You could see that Haslani wasn't sure what he wanted to do. He's a tackler, remember, not a ball distributor. When he wins balls, then when he's given the ball and say do something with it, it just surprises him. So what must I do next? Don't know if it was the right choice.
Edmundo, one of those that's coming off the bench once again here for the Mozambicans, stepping forward. A lead 2-1. Can he make it 3-1? Following the save from Armando. Oh, he's come off the crossbar and gone over. Just what Comoros needed. The stroke of luck they were hoping for.
What a miss. Got underneath the ball, opened the leg. Oh, when he opened that foot, it just clipped the crossbar and went out. Pressure. After a miss, there's another possible miss from the opponent.
Karim, amongst the standout defenders in this tournament, the central defender for Comoros has led from the back now. Needing to make it 2-2, yeah, has to get it right. Oh, he's gone wide. Armando had guessed right, but didn't have to make the save at the end of it all here. Second miss for Comoros, and once again, it could be advantage to Mozambique here.
Osama just pulled it. The idea was good. He hit it, but with the toe and pulled it. And even if he was on target, the keeper was going to save that one. 3 bad penalties.
Well, stepping forward to now tag one from the spot after having had a brace in the match is Chamito. Looking to give the serious advantage to the Mozambicans here. Chamito sends the keeper the wrong way. What a day he's had. Brace in 90 minutes, converts from the penalty spot, and well, Mozambique close now to that bronze medal.
That's putting a cherry on top. He knew that he has got a brace, so he's got to just complement his game. Maybe he'll be rewarded.
Could be. Comoros have to find the back of the net here. Obeidullah, who started the match here for Comoros, operating in the right back position, waiting to take Abongile Tom, having a word with Armando.
Doesn't look convincing to me. He goes on like a boxer, shaking the neck and turning the head upside down. Not too sure.
Pressure, the world of pressure on Obeidullah. Oh, it's another poor penalty, and that's curtains for Comoros. As Mozambique celebrate Armando with a couple of saves here, a disappointment for Comoros.
Sizwe, that man didn't look certain. He was shaking the head and smiling and, you know, not too sure what is going to happen. It's like, I find myself here. What must I do? And that's what he did not do, putting the ball in the back of the net.
Well, it's Mozambique that celebrate here, having come from behind on 2 occasions in 90 minutes to take us to this penalty shootout. They celebrate with their coach then, Victor Jose Martin, right in the middle of your picture, having more fun than any of the players, loving that they achieved the objective, having to settle for the 3rd and 4th playoff. He said at the start of the day they wanted bronze. It had been a while since Mozambique picked up the bronze in this tournament, and well, in the penalty shootout they got the business done. Comoros disappointed, but still a history-making run for them. First time they got to the semi-finals, the first time they get to a 3rd and 4th playoff. Their best showing ever in the history of the Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup for Comoros. So whilst there is the disappointment of having lost in this game here, they will take some reminding that they have done their countrymen proud with their showing here over the last week and a half. Armando with the saves. And the all-important save then to deny Obeidullah. Didn't take it well then. Comfortable save to make identical saves, in fact, he's made in this penalty shootout. And for a side that never led and twice came from behind within 90 minutes, they finished the day in the best way possible in the penalty shootout. Comfortable winners, having lost against Namibia in a penalty shootout in the semi-final. They grabbed the bronze medal and celebrated in true Mozambican style in the third and fourth playoff. I have to feel for Kasim after a tournament where he has been one of the standout defenders. And this Comoros side, the true surprise package of this tournament, well, they can hold their heads up high after the game ended with a 2-2 scoreline, with Mozambique grabbing the bronze medal with the 3-1 win in penalties. Well, that's the first of the two games coming your way during the course of today. Keep in mind, we do have the big final taking place later. Angola up against Namibia. Mozambique and Comoros, of course, will be proud of their showing here. There's still the Angolans and the Namibians, of course, that will look to be crowned champions to the end of it all. Not too long to wait now until we get that final underway. Now, let's go down to marks, awaiting with the man of the match, including the two coaches.
Yes, man of the match is Chamito, and to hand over the prize is Mr. Gladson Songelo of Aquel Operations, or he is Aquel Operations Manager. Sir, please do the honors. Chamito, congratulations.
Parabéns.
And looking at the way you took your first goal, that was composure at its best.
Da forma como tu marcaste o primeiro golo foi extraordinário.
Agradecer também ao companheiro do grupo pelo título, pelo o prêmio. Agradecer também ao Mister pela confiança e pelo todo contributo.
I would like to say thank you to his colleagues from the team, and also for the coach, because he trusts him to do this match.
On the pitch, when you realize you've got to come back again and again, what was going through your mind coming from behind?
No campo, ao verificar que tu tinhas que vir várias vezes, o que é que estava a acontecer na tua mente durante esse jogo?
Havia muito espaço e colega também já tinham notado isso, começaram a me assistir, o Miss também disse a mesma coisa, ainda tem espaço, pode progredir.
There was a lot of space, and the colleagues was keep on telling him like he should explore that space. So he had to take this opportunity and just score the goal on the right moment.
Congratulations, muito obrigado.
Parabéns.
Força, Vitor! Boa, caralho!
Those are the crazy teammates that were celebrating when Chamito, the man that scored the brace, was getting his award. And I'm joined by the coach, Victor. What a moment, what a relief. Twice on this pitch in the week that you go to penalties and go on to win.
Oh, let me say congratulations for the boys. They deserve to stay in the fifth position. I haven't nothing to say about the game, because when you go to the penalties, only I told them self-confidence. We can't lose twice. Yesterday we lost against Namibia. Today we draw with Comoros, but in penalties, I'm so happy with that. This result is going for everybody in Mozambique. Federation, my teammates, I'm talking about the coach, my assistant, all of them. We're always fighting, analyzing the game, making scouting for all the opponents. I'm so happy because during the tournament, we didn't lose any game during 19 minutes. Thank you, Mozambique. Thank you, Federation. Thank you, everybody who loves these guys. Give them a chance to improve. And congratulations, COSAFA, to give this tournament another to development the football in our regions. I'm so happy.
And happy as you are, also you're bringing something home. You must be excited about that, the bronze.
Yesterday, I told them that we must go to Mozambique with 2 things, not only one. This one, Carachá in Portuguese. It's no. We need another things. What is it? No, coach. It's a medal. So I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
Well done, coach. And,
good, for all my family, they support me every time. And another coach who I worked with them a long time. So we're going to continue working because now let me go and commemorate, celebrate this winner. It's not every year that Mozambique come on top. We're talking about 15 years ago. We never be on top. So I'm so happy. Thank you, Mozambique. Pátria amada. Tamo junto, malta. Obrigado.
Obrigado. Yes, and the coach is not here. That is the coach of Comoros, but he has sent the man that has always been his right wing, looking at Comoros. Coach not here. Any challenge?
Le coach n'est pas là. Est-ce qu'il y a un souci?
Non, il n'a pas pu être là, donc c'est moi qui vais me présenter à vous aujourd'hui.
Okay. No problem. He just with the players, so I'm here today to overtalk.
Okay, let's just talk about your team now. You were leading, you looked comfortable, and suddenly you allowed Mozambique to come from behind twice and paid the price in the penalty shootout.
Donc vous étiez devant, vous menez le match, vous étiez en confiance, et puis par la suite le Mozambique est revenu sur vous. Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé un peu?
Je pense qu'on a eu un peu de difficulté à gérer nos temps faibles. On a un groupe qui est relativement jeune. Voilà, il ne faut pas oublier non plus le parcours qu'on a fait durant toute la compétition. On a réussi à sortir des poules, dans une poule très compliquée. Et je pense que ce qu'il faut retenir aujourd'hui, c'est que durant toute la compétition, on a montré qu'on pouvait rivaliser avec les plus grandes nations de notre région COSAFA. Donc voilà, maintenant toutes ces petites erreurs qu'on a pu faire, c'est des erreurs qui vont nous faire grandir et qui vont nous faire franchir un cap.
So today we must say that we have improved a lot because we must not forget that we came from a very tough group and we have proved that we can beat many big teams in this tournament. I think that in the future you will hear again about Comoros. But today we were unable to concretize all our occasion and it cost us a lot. It's life, it's football.
Congratulations, you've shown a lot in this tournament, and for that, because obviously there is a group of players who are coming onto the pitch, then you might not be able to hear me. But for that, thank you very much, Comoros. Good luck in the future. There's World Cup coming up, there's AFCON coming up.
Okay, merci.
Merci beaucoup. Angola against Namibia.